Let me describe the Muslim Jesus to you. This is out of their own writings, the Quran and the Sunnah. Jesus was a man. He was not God. He did not die. He is a prophet. He is nothing more. He went to heaven like Elijah, and he's in heaven right now, standing alongside Allah, waiting for Allah to send him back, so that when he shows up, he can correct all the Christians who have misunderstood who he is. Sources for this again.
After accepting Christ and being a Christian, there is no return for you to Iran. You needed to say bye to everything. Iran, family, everything you have built for such a long time over there, having a house over there. That was the hardest time of my life to put everything in scale. I am Vahid Pourhabib. I am changed. I was born in a Muslim family. In fact, my parents, both my mom and my dad, practice Islam the way that it was supposed to. Before going to school, my dad asked us to stay. He didn't let us leave the home before finishing at least a couple of verses of the Quran, and he encouraged us to pray. In fact, a little bit more than encouraged, he was kind of like forcing us to pray. Islam clearly said that Jesus is a prophet. Whoever is not Muslim is an infidel, and they're not going to heaven. Yeah, that was my mindset about Christian. I want to go to United States and I want to have fun. 2 weeks in Los Angeles and 2 weeks in Vegas, and then come back to Los Angeles and fly back to Iran. So I came to United States. I didn't have anybody in Los Angeles. Someone from the very far family knew me. He has a warehouse in downtown LA. The first week I was here, a lady from the church showed up over there to purchase the stuff for the event that they had. As a proud Muslim, it was the best opportunity for me to humiliate a Christian in United States. So I walked up to her and I said, "Hey, I have a question. Are you Christian?" And she said, yes. With a very broken English, I told her, "Hey, do you know that you're going to go to hell because you believe in three gods?" And she told me, "No, we don't believe in three gods." And she said, "My son is a English pastor from this church. I would love you to come to my church and visit my church and talk with my son if you have any question." I said, "Oh, you don't have any answer for me?" Kind of like being so proud of what I said, because that was the greatest story for me to go back to Iran and share with my friends. But I want to make it a little bit more interesting. So I decided to go to that church to visit the guy. He took me to his office. 4 hours in the office. It was a battle between me and him. He was so kind, I was so mean the whole time. He said, "I know we didn't get anywhere, but I want to give you a gift." He gave me a book of Gospel of John for new believers. I said, okay, with no interest. I got the book. That time, I was just like a late night. I couldn't sleep. I was jet lagged from Iran to here. It was all the thing happening. So I started reading that book. I finished that book the whole entire night. It was different with what I was reading in Quran. I remember I started feeling so bad that why did I act like that? So I was so mean to that pastor. And that was the starting point for me. When I was comparing everything with the book of John, that was the time that I was thinking, no, I need to know more. I need to know more. I have to stay longer. So I canceled my trip to Vegas. And at some point, I was convinced that I'm a sinner. I was sure that I want to do something, but I was scared a lot. Scared of losing everything that I had. Why should I sacrifice everything for something that I'm not sure is true or not? It was April 20, 2011. It was a Good Friday. I was in the event, and pastor was doing a Good Friday service after that. When he prayed, he asked if anybody wanna repent the sin and accept Christ. I got up, I raised my hand, I said, I want to repent my sin. I know I'm sinner. I need help. I need Christ in my heart. And I repent my sin. That was completely a new day for me. So now what? That part was life-changing for me, because after that, accepting Christ and being a Christian, there is no return for you to Iran. My biggest problem was, how can I tell my parents? How can I tell my dad what happened to me? I mean, disgrace to the family right now. It was not good. It was not good. It was kind of like the last call that I had for 5 years with my parents. I have a friend, his name is Santos, and he's a very close friend to me. And when I had a question, he would send me a link from one of the sermons from Pastor John. I started getting to know Pastor John. I love his preaching. I was listening to his preach day and night. One day I was looking up and I found out Grace Community Church is in Sun Valley, and Sun Valley is like 7 miles away from me. When I came to Grace, I started learning a lot. This is something like dream come true. I see Pastor John. And currently I'm working at Grace Community Church as an IT director, and I've been a member of Grace Community Church since 2019. 2021, it was a time that I was able to go see my parents. I went to Pastor John, I told him, I'm going to see my dad after 11 years. And, my dad is Muslim, and I don't know how it's gonna go. So what would you recommend me to do, Pastor? He told me that what I want you to do, show him your love. With your love, you're gonna show them who you are. One of the Farsi Bible that I had, I was able to find it. Pastor John signed it for my dad, and I went to Turkey. I gave it to my dad. I told him, you don't need to read it. This is just a gift. Look at it as a gift. Can you accept it? Yeah, he got it. So, and I asked my mom sometimes, he said, it's still there. So I'm happy in a Muslim family, we have a Bible in the library, in one of the shelves. We don't have a lot of material in Farsi in Iran. You cannot find Farsi Bible in any bookstore. It's illegal. I'm in touch with one of the underground church in Iran. What I do, I translate some of the sermon, like he would send me his manuscript. And through his manuscript, I was able to translate to Farsi. I would email those people that I know in Iran in crypto way to make sure that they are safe. We have a lot of underground church in Iran. They are thirsty to know the truth. And that's very important. We can get those material to Iran.